Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, everybody. How we feeling this AM? How is everybody doing? Naomi, front and center. How are you, Queen? I see a Zoom user. I can't call you out because I don't know your name, Queen Crystal. I see you waving. Hey, how is everybody doing? Leanne, I see you, my love. Grand Rising, Danielle, Linda, how's everybody feeling? Queen Ellen, hello, hello, hello. India, I see you. Shanique, I see you. Dr. Joy, how are you? I see y'all moving. Regina is shaking and moving. I love it. Irene, I see you. How is everybody feeling this beautiful AM? I hope everybody is doing well. This is day 4. This week is flying, y'all. It is flying. King Major, you back there with the suit and tie. I don't know where you going, but pop your collar, King. I love it. I absolutely love it. How is everybody feeling today? Day 4. I know you have been receiving a lot of value. Drop one word in the chat. Tell me how you feeling this morning. This is a thankful Thursday. Okay, I'm always, always, always going to be thankful, but I want us to pay attention to the things that we need to be thankful for, right? It's not just the big things. I need us to be thankful for not just the small things. I need us to be thankful for everything. Okay, we have to be paying attention to even the not so good moments. If you paid attention to your life so far, it has showed you that even not the good moments has appeared and showed you why some things had to happen in your life and how it was aligning you to exactly where it needed to be. If you understand what I'm saying and if it applies to you, just go ahead and drop that sunshine emoji in the chat. And it's not always just what you have in your life, it's who you have in your life. We got to pay attention to what's happening in our lives, y'all. We truly have to pay attention to every single thing that's going on in our life. And always, 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 always have that attitude of gratitude. I want y'all to go ahead and put that in the chat. If you are ready to walk in the alignment of your assignment and have that attitude of gratitude, I want you to put attitude of gratitude in the chat. Along with that, because this is just what's on my heart this AM, I want us to stop taking things, but most importantly, people for granted. You had an assignment this week from the Mindset Mogul to reach out to somebody, not to blame them for anything or whatever, but just to make amends because we never know when our last day is and we never know when somebody else's last day is. And you might be walking through life thinking that you don't care and you're not bothered, but I promise you, when certain things take place, that heart is going to beat a different kind of way when somebody isn't here anymore. So we have to stop taking people for granted. But I want to ask you this question. Have you ever thought about all the things that has played a part in shaping you into the person that you are today? Has anybody ever taken the time out to do that? To actually pay attention to all the things that has played a part into shaping you into who you are today? And the one thing that I want to ask you to pay attention to today is your environment. I want y'all to put environment in all caps for me right now. Put environment in all caps for me, y'all. Your environment, have you thought about how much your environment has shaped who you are? How much it has shaped your thought process? Even today, the people around you, have you thought about how much the people around you, the support you do or don't receive? Your environment plays an essential role into how you move. I want you to start auditing your environment, audit your circle, audit the people that you have in your life. Are they making deposits or withdrawals? Pay attention to your environment, family. And the one thing that I know for certain, the one person that I know on these AM calls that is truly depositing into our life is our mindset mogul. I need everybody to put mindset in all caps. Put mindset in all caps in the chat. He's always going to align our minds, so that we could really get to the money that we say we want to collect. He said, we not making money, we collecting money. We collect the money in the chat. And if you are truly ready to be thankful and to have the attitude of gratitude because you truly understand where you've been aligned, right? And you are grateful for the people that you have been aligned to at this moment, I want you to come off mute this morning. And I want you to give so much love to our very own mindset mogul, who's always here to take us deeper and higher to our next level. I need everybody to come off mute. Come off mute, y'all. Come off mute. Let me see if I can help you out. Come off mute, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
Grand Rising.
Good
Morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
Happy
for
Friday
people.
Eve.
Good morning. Good
Good to
morning.
see you in
Right.
advance.
Good
Blessings.
morning.
Let's get
Morning.
it.
Grow bigger.
Let's get that big energy out here. Big energy.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
Morning, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
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 Good
Good
morning. Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Good morning. Glory be to God.
Cheers.
Good morning.
Top of the morning.
What kind of juice we drinking today?
Morning.
Who y'all know?
You got to unmute, King. They want to
I
know
got
about
you.
that.
I know. We're doing great today, right? I know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you are the MVP, if you are the best of the best, the star of your story, go ahead and put it into the chat. Let's go ahead and mute this. Somebody said what type of juice we're drinking today. I think we know. I think we got an understanding. Every day we wake up, we use the mindset max out. This one is the locked in lemonade. So if you haven't had the locked in lemonade, go ahead and try this one out. It'll definitely do you wonders. But listen, today is a good day for a great day. Thank you, Sunshine. We appreciate you for opening up the call. We thank you once again for being that individual that sets the tone, not only before the call, but also after the call. And we thank you. When I call out your name, I want you to put the MVP trophy in the chat because you are the MVP. Go ahead, Miss Crystal, put the MVP trophy in the chat. We have two Crystals today, Miss Clark and Miss T. Go ahead. Danielle, what's going on? How you doing? Put the trophy emoji in the chat. Miss Cynthia, put the trophy emoji in the chat. Dr. Joy, put the trophy emoji in the chat. You are the MVP. You're getting hydrated, Miss Dorothy, so I love that. You are the MVP. That's right. Stay safe while you're driving. Miss Eve, what's going on? Irene, who else do we have? I see a lot of people with the cameras on. Shout out to you. You're doing that. Miss Leslie, Miss Leanne, Linda, I guess it's going in alphabetical order at this point. Jennifer, listen, you are the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. I would love for you to go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Why? This symbolizes you, all the work that you've gone through to get to where you're at. Sunshine did mention something about environment. Usually today we talk about environment. I want to know from you all, what does your environment mean to you? Like, what does environment mean to you? Just go ahead and put something in the chat. Go ahead and put something in the chat. What does it mean to you? Also, be honest. Do you love your environment? Do you kind of not like it? Do you wish you could change it? Okay. What does environment mean to you? Peace of mind, good energy. I like that. What else? What else do we see? What else? How do we feel? Environment. Somebody said the environment has to do with their self-worth. I like that, and I want to work on this with everyone today. But let's just be real. Be real. Be transparent now. Put it in the chat. Do you like your environment? Do you want to change your environment? Which one? Now, I like it. I'm good. I'm excelling where I'm at. And I'm not talking about this challenge. I'm talking about in general, because you already know. Soon as these doors close, soon as the Zoom ends, you go back to that old life that, you know, it may be good or it may not be good, but you let me know. You're fighting off relatives just to be quiet, just so you can stay on the Zoom. Soon as you get off, it's back to chaos. When you're on, it feels like literally everything is working for you. You can see the possibilities in your world. Soon as you get off, it feels like I done lost everything. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Would you change your environment if you could? Would you keep the same environment? Let me know in the chat. If you would love to change your environment, raise your virtual hand, come up and tell me why. 30 seconds or less, we're going to put the timer on. 30 seconds or less. Raise your virtual hand. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Go up. So, Sunshine, when you do see a hand, let me know. Oh, okay. There's someone. Who do we have?
You know, we got the beautiful Queen Regina coming to talk to us. Hey, Regina, how are you, love?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. What do you want?
Awesome.
Hello. Good to see you.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
okay. I'm heading to work. I'm on the train. I would definitely change.
Where are you from? New York?
When you down, just like now.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could change your environment, would you change your environment?
Yes. Yes.
Why? Tell us why.
Because I would be moving it. I want to change my environment for me and for my family. And I know I have a specific assignment I'm supposed to be doing. And one of the things that came clear during these morning power tours is my deal with procrastination and fear. So I changed that first with me so that I can extend that
Okay.
out.
All right. So I want you to think, is there anything stopping you from changing your environment? You don't have to answer that now. I just want you to think about that, okay? So think about that, and hopefully by the time you get to where you're at, if you can come back up, you can. If not, put it inside of the group chat so we can see it, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So right now, just think about it. Good job, good job. Anyone else would love to share if they would change their environment? Would you change your environment?
Okay.
Good
Hey, Miss
morning,
Christie.
everyone. Hi. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Would I change my environment? That's a yes and no question because my environment, I understand, shapes me and it affects my day. So it just depends on what's going on. Based on what I'm trying to do, I have to change my environment. I have to move differently. But you know, I find myself in service of a lot of people, and a lot of people depend on me for that. And sometimes they pour more out of me than I have to give. But and so in that case, yes, I would change my environment to some degree just so that I can rejuvenate and fill my cup. So yeah.
Okay, good job. Good job. Everyone send some love in the chat. Let's go to the next person. As you all continue to answer questions, this is a practice. Answer the question, okay? Don't say a double-minded answer. Answer the question. If the answer is yes, is yes. If it's to some degree, it's to some degree. But the answer is yes, is yes. If it's no, is no. No means you will not change a thing. Yes means you could change a little bit or you could change a lot. Just so we're clear. If we're clear, put clear in the chat. Who do we have, Sunshine?
Hey, Shanique, how are you, beautiful?
Grand Rising, how are you today?
Hello.
Doing well. Doing well.
Yes,
Good to see you. What's going on?
I would definitely change my environment. I am like 10 times ready over to change my environment. I've been in the same city and state for my whole life, and I know this is not part of my path. As far as where am I going and when I'm going, I don't know that yet, but God is already saying I'm not staying here. So I'm already
Mm,
emptying out my house, giving away things, old furniture, things like that. And when it's time to go, I'm clearing out and I don't have much to go and I'm going.
mm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the goal. The goal is to know where we're going and where we're going to be. And if some people in your life or certain things in your life doesn't really meet those qualifications right now, it's okay to leave. You can always
Oh,
come back. Everyone send some love
closet
in the chat.
cleaning for the last 2 years. I'm telling you, circle has
Yeah.
become small of negative people, but actually rebuilding with positive. And this is one of the
There
positive,
we
and I
go.
really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone send some love in the chat. What I'm going to do at this time, if we didn't get to your hand, that's fine. We'll get to your hand later on if you just keep them up. But I do want to move forward. One of the things that we're doing right now is we're practicing. Like, we don't necessarily have a space for entrepreneurs to practice, except for in the field. Let me know if this is right or wrong. Let me know. Remember, I told you before, there's no right or wrong anyway. So whether you tell me it's right or wrong, I'm not really listening. That's just for your participation. But you let me know in the chat if I'm right or wrong when I say you don't have a place to practice. Like, athletes have a place to practice. They have the gym, they have the court, they have the field. Actors, other entertainers, they all have places, musicians, they all have places to practice. Even scientists, right? They have places to practice. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, we don't have a place to practice. This is your designated place to practice. So raising your hand, being one of the first ones to come up, that's a place to practice. Because too often we're the first to be what? Second. A lot of us are the first to be second. You see how more hands came up after the first person's hand come up? Because we love to be the first to be second. And we need to start changing that. And one of the ways to change that is to shift our mindsets. What I want to do right now is I want to turn to becoming more effective in less time. If you do not have it, go ahead and get it. We're going to becoming more effective in less time. Let's see which chapter we're going to go to today. Also, if you like what we've been reading from this, let me know in the chat so we can continue, maybe go through deeper dives on different types of calls that we have. But let's see. Let's see. So I want to pull up on the screen. I think we're going to go to, let's go to chapter 1. Let's go to chapter 1. Let's start back from the top. Let's go to chapter 1. Let's go to chapter 1. Let's see. Can you put it on the screen? All right. Let me move it down a little bit so we can see. But we're going to go to chapter 1. And the reason why we're going to go to chapter 1 is because mindset is super crucial. Okay. And what I want to do at this moment is I want us to be able to see difficulty differently. Okay. All right. So when you look at it right here, actually, I'm gonna start right here. It says there are two main types of mindsets. You have the fixed mindset, and we also have the growth mindset. So I want us to think about this. We have two types of mindsets, right? It's the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Somebody put it in the chat again. Put it in the chat. What are the two types of mindsets? The reason why we have you reinforce, remember, this is a place to practice. The reason why we have you reinforce the messages is because you can learn it faster this way. The more times you see it, the more times you hear it. So you hear it one way from me, then you type it another way, and then you see it again because you look at what you typed, right? So there's just tips on how to learn faster. So fixed mindset and growth mindset. And I want you to identify exactly which mindset you have. I know most of us are going to say, well, you know what? I have the growth mindset. But let's see. Let's take a deeper dive, right? Now, there are two types of mindsets, and it's the fixed and growth. Those with the fixed mindsets believe that their lives and everything in them are unchangeable. Basically, that they're just there for the ride and they will react as needed. So in some cases, the fixed mindset is showing up in a different way, right? They won't take risks for the fear of failure, and they may shy away from challenges. See, at first, how many of you thought, yeah, I don't have the fixed mindset, I got the growth mindset. But as we continue to read, you probably have a fixed mindset somewhere where they won't take risks for the fear of failure, and they shy away from challenges. Let me know in the chat. Now I think I got you. Now I think some of you saying, "Oh well, actually I do have a fixed mindset." Who thought that? Who's thought now is, "Oh wait, actually I do have a fixed mindset," after reading that last part? Okay, be honest about where you're at so you can get to where you want to be. Because I know all of us think we have the growth mindset. I know that. But somewhere, somehow, all of us also have a fixed mindset in certain categories. Okay. Just because you have a fixed mindset in certain categories doesn't mean you have a fixed mindset in all categories. But as we continue to read, it says, on the other hand, people with a growth mindset understand that nothing is static. Instead, they will grow and change over time. They are more open to exploring opportunities and putting themselves out there in an effort to improve the quality of their lives. So if you truly want to improve the quality of your life, you have to be open to improvement. See, some of you said I got the growth mindset, and you wanted to neglect the fact that you had the fixed mindset. Put a one in the chat if that was you. If now you're noticing, wait a minute, I do have both. But at first you was just, nah, I got a growth. I got the growth. Yeah, I'll do the growth. But now you realize you actually do have a fixed mindset somewhere. So all of us do, myself included. So I'm telling you this because I've noticed this. I've done research on this and discoveries, and this is the information that I've acquired that I'm passing on to you all in order for you to be able to be successful in your own right. Okay. So here's the premise of this all. There's certain ways that you might operate that you may think is the best way to operate. There's certain things that you may lack or you may find scary. We must start to challenge everything that's being given to us. Like right now, if I challenge your paradigm, you should be open to knowing that you could potentially be wrong. Why is that? Why is that right? Like think about that. If you know that you could be wrong, why is that a good thing? Put it in the chat. I want to know. See, sometimes we have relationships with people and we have this mindset where we just react to everything that they do. Like your significant other just knows the right way to tweak your buttons or push your buttons or get you to react. In other words, they call it a trigger. And when a trigger is pulled, somebody can get hurt. How many people have you hurt? I want you to think about that. With the way that you react, when you thought from that moment you had a growth mindset, you say, you know, I'm not wrong, they're wrong. How many people have you actually hurt? If you called up someone and you did the challenge where you did the forgiveness challenge, you called and got complete with someone, I want you to put a one in the chat if you actually did the challenge. Because I know I've seen some of you like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And that, you know, it's your choice. You have a fixed mindset in there, and you know, whatever's fixed will stay the same and deteriorate over time. So if you did put a one in the chat, I want you now to tell yourself really, what was your breakthrough moment from making that call? What was your breakthrough moment from making that call? And as you explore your whole ideology of how you decide to do things, I want you to realize that most of us do things just because we want to become more effective in less time. So sometimes when we react to someone, it's really us being more effective in less time in that way because we just think we know that person already. How many of us know, oh yeah, I already know them. So we just react in a certain way to cut down, to speed up the process from us going through all of this back and forth just to say whatever we want to say, because we kind of grouped them in this thought of, I know what you're going to do, I know what you're going to say, I know you. But I want us to flip the script. Imagine you're on the other end of that, where you are getting upset because your family, your friends aren't taking time to get to know the new you. See, you want everyone to know you and understand the new version of you, but are you taking time to get to know the new version of that person instead of judging or fixating on the way they used to be or the way they was? Okay? I want you to think about this. So really quick, I want to take some hands. Who did the call? And I want to know your response. Let's make it 30 seconds or less. What was the breakthrough? What was the breakthrough? What was the breakthrough? Do we have some hands? Let's get some hands going.
Regina is up. Hey, love.
Hi. The breakthrough was with my daughter, one of my second oldest. We hadn't been talking since October of last year. And she's been on my mind heavy for the past few weeks. But my breakthrough was, my assumption was that she wouldn't receive my call. And she did. And so initially I was like, why should I apologize? But I knew I needed to do it even prior to coming into this program. But this was the catalyst for that. And I was glad that I did it. I had a weight lifted having that conversation with her. So I needed to do that.
Okay. Good job. Good job. Great job. Everyone send some love in the chat. Let's go to the next person.
Next up is Crystal T. Come talk to us, love.
I did do the challenge, and I called my ex, my daughter's father, and I hadn't talked to him in years, and and I had been wanting to call him for quite some time, but anger and resentment held me from doing that. The challenge, I sat outside and contemplated and looked at my phone, and finally I picked it up and called him, and he was surprised to hear from me, but we talked a long time, and I initially apologized to him for taking so long to make the call. And he accepted my apology. And it ended up being a very good conversation. And I felt a release because I was holding myself in bondage by not making that call. So yeah, it was a good thing for me. Thank you.
I love that. Everyone send some love in the chat. Good job. So I'm looking in the chat, right? And here, let me just address this thing really fast. In fact, let two people go. I see two people up there. Let them go. No more hands after them two. Just so I can state this and get to the whiteboard.
Oh.
How
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'll keep it quick. I definitely did the challenge. I actually did it with like 2 people. I'm trying to do it with a third. I'm trying to continue that path. I did it with a lady that I kind of dated and was interested in like a while back, and talked to her, and she was kind of shocked that I did it. But, and I apologized, and it was a good conversation. Even though she didn't apologize for what she did, it still gave a relief for me, because sometimes forgiveness is not always for the person, it's for yourself. And then I did it for the woman I'm dating now because I know I've messed up. So I even told her, like, I apologize for the things I've done in the past transgressions. So, and the next person will be my homeboy that we haven't talked in a while. So I'm definitely continuing that trajectory.
Okay, good job, good job. And when the woman didn't apologize, just realize you dodged a bullet, brother. All right, good job.
I appreciate that, bro.
Everyone send some love to chat. Exactly. Sometimes we think this is the one, and it's the one to run away from. But let's bring the next person up.
Hey, Linda. How are you, beautiful?
Good morning, everyone. I actually did this
Hey.
before this challenge. Good morning, what do you call yourself, the mogul? This is my second day on the AM call, and I'm so upset that I missed the first 2 days. I wasn't aware it was happening because I don't get the alerts and stuff on everything. But I did this before the challenge because I'm very family oriented, centered. 4 sons, we're all super close, and once they started bringing in their female women friends, I have a 3rd son and his fiance have a 10-month-old baby, and I haven't been around the baby or them since April. And I stressed myself to be around them, period, since the baby was born last September because of her aggressions towards me for whatever reasons, and whatever I did to that she said I hurt her, or hurt, caused whatever rift. I've apologized multiple times. I even didn't go to church to go talk to her one Sunday, and as recent as maybe 2 weeks ago. Okay, and the birthday is coming up September 1st. I've already bought my gifts and everything to give to him because I'm sure I'm not going to be invited to the little first birthday. But I feel relief because I reached out, and I even took the time to think it over and see what's the deal, what's the big deal. And it's a control thing on her part. And after speaking to my eldest son, who's 40, and 2 coworkers, both male perspectives, they say she wants to think she's smarter than me and something like that. But I don't do competition, things like that. My first daughter-in-law, she's like 15 years in my family. We get along, everything's great. This one's just, and it's the mama in the background too. So I just removed myself from the space and do the best I can to still stay positive towards them and my grandson.
Okay, good job. I want to add some value here because first of all, send some love in the chat to Miss Linda. Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to get everyone present, and I want you to be present to this as well. No, you can stay on mute. I hit the request button by accident. I want to say this to everyone. A lot of us come in and you say you've done this before the challenge. I want to make it very clear. You apologize before the challenge. You didn't do this. And maybe you did, but I'm quite sure you didn't do this because my instructions were very explicit. You call them up and you apologize and thank them and tell them how important they are in your life. But I'm combing through the chat and I just keep seeing, oh, I did this. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. If you did this, you would be more inclined to want to do it. In fact, I'm not even going to go too far on this. I'm going to go on the whiteboard and I'm going to share some things with you all, but I want to make sure this is super explicit. This is not about them. This has everything to do with you. This is not about bridging the gap and making sure you have a good relationship. This is recognizing patterns and being able to authentically say to someone else and see all the good in that person, even though when things are going bad. Because when you get into your business and your business starts making money and collecting, you start collecting this cash and you start putting yourself in this position of power, I'm telling you right now, not everything is going to seem like how it seems on TV where everything just happens well. You're going to go through some tough times. You're going to go through some errors. Anytime you're finding success, you're going to have distraction. You're going to have disruption. You're going to have it. It's going to happen. So I'm putting you through real life situations to test you, for you to see how well you're going to be a business owner. And when you say to me, well, yeah, I did it already. Okay. That's why you're going to have one client and make $1 because I already did it already. I know. Right now, you might not see the correlation. You might not like me after what I'm saying to you right now. I get it. But I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make you better. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be better, or put a 1 in the chat if you want to make friends. Let me know in the chat. because I'm not giving you this assignment for some fun thing just to give you an assignment. I really want to help you. One of the things that's going to help you is being unmessable with. Right now, you're still messable. I'm sorry. Anybody who would Linda, let me call you out just because you're the last person on this. Right now, you're still messable with. Somebody could push your buttons right now, Linda. I could push them right now. If I brought you up to the screen, I'll push your buttons right now. Make you go off on me right now. That's not it. That's not building the boss mentality. You can't have somebody be able to push your buttons and control, because then you're out of control and they get to control you. We need to do something differently. Somebody put different in the chat. And once again, good job. I'll just using you, Linda, as an example because you're the last person up here. But I'll tell you this too. How explicit can I be with you, Linda? Let me know in the chat. Put a thumbs up. I see you on the screen right now. Put a thumbs up. If I could be super explicit with you, put a thumbs up. Stop getting advice from your family and friends, please. They give horrible advice, okay? Stop getting advice from them. They give horrible advice. The person who told you, and I'm just using it because you spoke about it. The person who told you, she just want to, be better than you or whatever. That was horrible. I'm sorry. That whoever told you that, I wouldn't listen to that person. I just wouldn't listen. I mean, you can listen to them to know what not to think, but I wouldn't listen to them to take advice from them. And I don't know them. I'm just obviously joking a little bit, but I'm really speaking on the fact that, like, be cautious of who you listen to. So on your to-do list, everybody write this down. This is your to-do list. In order for you to be a great business owner, you have to be a good person. Like, you could be a bad person and make a lot of money. Just your life is going to end up being bad. And some people get away with it because everything happens in this life that you could think of. Are there terrible people who have a fortune and who have great friends, but they're just terrible people? Yeah. Are there really good people who just amazing person, but they have, they live in poverty and they don't have the family in the group that they need? Yeah. Anything can happen. Everything can happen. Okay. And I don't want y'all to be upset or work or overthink too much, but I do want y'all to think about this. I need you to start to assess your life. What is workable? What is not workable? What is a non-negotiable in your life? Hurt people will teach you hurt things. I'm not listening to somebody who gives me hurt advice. I'm just not doing it. And the reason why I'm saying that to you all is because you're going to have a lot of people who teach you that and tell you stuff like that. And you have to have discernment to understand who to listen to, who not to listen to. Okay? And this is how you're going to know who to listen to, who not to listen to. This is a formula that I've created. Assess, assign, align. All of my formulas that I create, I either found them through research of studying case by case for particular events, or I've been taught them, right? And then I used it in my own life and it worked. These are mine, right? This is coming from my intellectual property. Assess, assign, align. You must assess your life, see what's workable, see what's not workable, get rid of that. And then you must give yourself an assignment. How many of us are waiting for God? Oops. How many of us are waiting for God to how many of us are waiting for God to give us our purpose? How many of us are waiting for God to give us our purpose? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. God is not going to give you your purpose. You have to give yourself the purpose. God gave you the ability to choose, the ability to have what we call free will. Okay? So that was your purpose. That you got the ability to have free will from God. Everything else is up to you. You have to now give yourself permission. This is why we started with giving yourself permission, because the person that's stopping you is you. I'll just be real. Can I call a spade a spade? Can I call an ace a ace? The person that's stopping you from getting to your goal is you, ladies and gentlemen. It's just really you. Because before we do this to-do list, we're looking to go here and get an assignment from God. And then we don't know where we're going. So we're going here. We don't know where we're going. So we're going here. We're just going all over the place. How many of us feel like we're all over the place? Okay. So what we want to do is we want to give the assignment. What is your assignment? So we asked you to create your possibilities. Who did that? Who did that exercise where we asked you to create your possibilities? Who did that? When we said create your possibilities, who are you? I told you all my possibility. Who I am is the possibility of love, connectivity, financial prosperity. What's yours? All right. You could be a possibility of a million things, but I want you just to choose 3. So a lot of us, we want to get to this goal state of mind. We want to get to this goal state, but before we get to the goal state, we must do certain things. First thing we must do is this. We must create the to-do list. What do you need to assess? What's in your life? Like when we talk about environment, right? What do you have the environment that you truly want, or do you not have the environment that you want? You need to assess that. You need to give yourself the assignment. What type of environment do you want? You want an environment that fosters love, that creates compassion, a compassionate state of mind. You want an environment that cares about you wholeheartedly. I know a lot of us are looking for unconditional love, but I'm sorry to break it to you all, unconditional love does not exist. Somebody put in the chat, love is contractual. See, a lot of us make love transactional, but love is contractual. It's agreements between two people. Okay. Now, when you think about contractual, understand that there's an underlying thing here. You have to fulfill your part, they have to fulfill their part. That's what love is. You can't just love someone and they don't love you back. So love is contractual. Contractual is conditional. Love is conditional. Stop looking for unconditional love. It's an illusion that keeps you trapped. You say, my child loves me unconditionally. No, your child doesn't. If your child wasn't your child would not love you the same way, because the only reason why they love you that way is because they're your child. Okay? Make sense? Let me know in the chat. Make sense before I move forward. Let me know in the chat makes sense before I move forward. All right. So we're not looking for unconditional love. The same thing works in business. The way you do one thing is how you almost do everything. So everything that I'm teaching and instructing right here, you can do within your business. Everything that I'm teaching you personally, you could do in your business, and vice versa. So you need to make your to-do list. Before you get to your goal, you need to do what? Put it in the chat. I want to see you all put it in the chat. Before you can get to your goal, you must do what? Assess, assign, align. Okay, assess what you want in your life. See what's workable. See what's non-workable. Get rid of the non-workable, expand on the workable. So simple. It's hard sometimes because certain friends and certain what we call attachments are tied to these things. We need to give up the idea of attachment. See, a lot of us, we think we want love. And I'm gonna call out the women right now, because a lot of you have been trained this way, and there's no disrespect. But a lot of women say they want love, but they just want the love story. You just want the love story. This is why when the guy doesn't fit the character that you thought in your mind, you X him out the picture. And now you don't want to speak to him. You don't want to speak to him because they don't fit the picture anymore. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Did I hurt somebody's feelings on that, on being honest? Uh-oh. Because you've been trained to keep a love story. That's why when you were growing up, you watched Disney movies. So you must break the paradigm of your assignment. Your assignment is not to get married. Most people say that's their goal. My goal is to get married, so they don't care who they get married to. They just want to be married. I want to be a wife. Well, before you can be a wife, you have to first be the wife. Okay? Before you get the actual ring on your finger, you have to become the wife. Some people might say, well, I'm not doing that because he's not my husband. How else do you want him to become your husband? See, so let's just understand this. Before we move forward, we must break the paradigm. In order for you to have a breakthrough, you must break the paradigm. The paradigm is your belief system. Whatever you currently believe, you must dismantle, because your belief system is creating your results. Why? Think about it. Your language, right? Your whatever you believe in, your language that you believe creates these thoughts. These thoughts produce that manifestation of the belief, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't. Either way you take an action, the action produces results. You must break the paradigm or you're going to keep going through this cycle. So you must assess your beliefs. If you are not assessing your beliefs, you could be living a lie. You see, be living, be live, believe. You could be living a lie. So some of us are living lives and wonder why we're not getting the results we want because of what we believe in. So if you are believing or be lying, be living in a certain paradigm, you're getting goals or you're getting manifestations that you might not necessarily want. You must break the lie identity, because attached to the belief is what we call a lie identity. Okay. What have you been told that you now subconsciously believe? You must break the lie identity. You must break the lie identity. I'm telling you right now. I know some of you are thinking he's just sounding like a rapper or something up here. He just playing with the words. It sound good, but well, if you actually listen to what I'm saying, a lot of you believe in stuff that's lies and you don't even know it's a lie. Watch this. Watch y'all get mad at me right now. Is the earth flat? Let me know in the chat. Watch all of y'all defend it and pretend you don't even know what you're talking about. Watch, look, watch. I'm not even gonna go there. All I'm gonna do is say, go outside, look at the ground. All I'm gonna do is say, go in the plane, look out in the sky. That's all I'm gonna say. But I want you to understand how much you will argue about something you don't even know exists. No, don't let me talk about Jesus Christ. Now y'all will hang up off the Zoom now if I talk about Jesus Christ, because you don't even know if Jesus Christ existed and you're arguing for something you don't even know. So don't get me started. Don't tell me what you think you're right about this, because you don't know. The truth is you don't know. The truth is you don't know. Let's call a spade a spade. The truth is you don't know. You are walking on faith. It's something you believe. I'm telling you that what you believe in is creating your results, ladies and gentlemen. Because I know y'all gonna fight me on this. No, God, man, I'm not saying that there isn't a supreme being that created all of us, because there is. I'm not saying you don't have divine energy in you, because you do. What I'm saying is that you've been brainwashed, and it's now time for you to understand. It's time to have a dirty mind now. I can't be getting brainwashed from everybody else. I need to get it from the mud. I need to know the roots. I need to go back in time. So the thing you need to do is change your beliefs. So when we talk about starting, right? The starting point, this is where we need to renovate. Change your beliefs. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. They're gonna cut me off. They're gonna say, I'm sorry, something happened with your stream. As soon as I start talking about God, talk about Jesus Christ. So change your beliefs. You need to change the way you think, ladies and gentlemen. That's the number one thing. Change the way you think. Change the way you think. Ronnie, you need to check and make sure you know what I'm saying, because if you believe in God, right, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying right now. That's crazy for what you're saying. Listen to what I'm saying. You'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But you just did exactly what I'm talking about. Defending something you don't even understand what is there. You don't know. You don't know. I didn't say anything negative about God. I said you don't know what's true. You get what I'm saying? So you don't know. You were not there. Only way you know if you were there, you weren't there. You're being told something and you believe what you're being told. That's what a belief is. You be living in that belief, and that's fine. So the next step, right? When you renovate, as we told y'all before, the renovation part, right, is you changing the way you operate. You're changing the way you operate, right? You're changing the way you believe, so that way you can create what you want in your life. Okay? So innovation part is this: operation. So when you called up those people and you knew that you weren't wrong, you knew it, right? You knew you weren't wrong, right? You knew you weren't wrong, right? You said, you know what? but I'm gonna call them anyway, and I'm gonna make sure I get complete with them. What happened? There was something that unexpectedly happened to you, right? There was something that unexpectedly happened that you didn't know. You had no clue of what was going to happen. That was you changing the way that you operate. So now subconsciously, this is you moving closer to your success goals. Okay. The next thing you want to do is collaborate. This is where you understand the power of team. So let me just show you how we were meant to be in groups. Let me just show you how we were meant to be in groups. This is the idea. God created man, created a woman. When a man and a woman has a child, the child comes out, and the child now has what? Put the answer in the chat. The child now has what? A group. Some people call it a family, but they have a group. So by default, you were created as a group. And even if you go back, if you believe in the Bible, you go back and you look at these situations. Just from what I just said, the renovation, if you come in as one person, right? You're one person. You now need to change the way you operate in order to be with another person. So if you're finding a significant other, you renovate who you are, you grow up a little bit, you find out what you like, find out what you don't like, and now you start to move in with someone. Or you move, when you say move in, doesn't necessarily mean household, but it means that you move into one, a union, you become one. This is why when you look at the sexual organs, a man and a woman coming together, you innovate, you change the way you operate, you become one, you change the form, okay? You change the form of who you become. All right? You change the form of who you become. And then when you collaborate, you have a baby, you produce someone else, right? You produce someone else. And now, guess what? You collaborated. Either way, I'm showing you this method has been given throughout the Bible, throughout the Quran, throughout time, throughout history. Period. This is not something I'm just making up. I'm showing you this is the way to get to certain goals. Now, let's do it this way, where I'll show you this. In your reality, right? And Myron Golden, one of my mentors, one of my coaches, he taught me this. Some of y'all may know this. I'm calling this the RIC impact. The highest level of value is your imagination. The highest level of imagination, right? Is imagination. Somebody put in the chat imagination. This is the place where the person that creates the idea, this person gets to spin, let me add another color real quick. This person gets to spin 80% of their time enjoying themselves. And only 20% of time working. How many of us like that? How many of us want that? You want something like that where you're spending 80% of your time enjoying your life and only 20% working, versus spending 80% of your time working and only 20% of your time enjoying yourself. So as we continue to go on, I want you to follow. So communication is the next level, right? Communication is just under imagination. The person with the imagination that creates the idea still gets paid a lot, still has a lot of impact, but the person who communicates the idea also has a lot of impact and has a lot of income. And they also only spend 20% of their time working and 20% of their 80% of their time enjoying themselves. There's something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of the results are going to come from 20% of the effort. So you have to find in your life, what is the 80% result that you want? And what's the 20% effort that's going to get me the 80% result? A lot of times as new entrepreneurs, we're running around doing anything and everything. All right, anything and everything, and we're not realizing which thing is moving the needle or which thing is not moving the needle. We're just doing so much. If you're doing too much, somebody put in the chat, I'm doing too much. You must figure out the thing that is the 20% thing that's moving the needle forward. 80% doing the heavy lifting. If you have a team of 10 people, there's going to be 2 people that does the most lifting, and then the 8, they'll do some work, but not as much as the 20. If you notice, you go back in your life and look at this from your life. If you were ever in a group and you did a group project, how many of you actually were doing a group project thing? Right? How many of you actually were doing a group project and running it, or were you just constantly, kind of contributing a little bit here and there? Okay, maybe that's too far back. Let's bring it more current. What about the group chat that you're in? There's a group chat that you're in where most people do the talking and you just don't talk. You're part of that 80 where it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna really talk a lot. And there is a group chat that you probably do the most talking in. So I want you to understand what I'm saying is happening in your life regardless. So communication level, cool. This is where you start to get paid the big bucks, but a lot of people don't like to communicate. See, there's 2 top fears. The number 1 fear is public speaking. The second fear is dying. The number 1 fear is public speaking. The second on that list is dying. So people are afraid to speak more than they are afraid to die. Some people, when they get ready to speak, they heart pound so much that they feel like they're about to die. Let me know if that's you in the chat. So as we continue to go, the next level below the communication level is the unification level. This is where you manage people. This level gets paid a little bit more than the implementation level, has a little more impact, but they still are bound by the clock. So this may be you. You may make $100,000. You may make 6 figures, but I promise you, when you make 6 figures doing a unification, you're a manager. I bet you they know that that they own you. I bet you they make sure that you know that when you have your time off, right? You're still working on your days off. How many of us is dealing with that? You make around 6 figures. You might not take home 6 figures, but you make around 6 figures, but they make sure that they own you. Listen, I know it's your kid's birthday, but I need you to come in. Like, come on. So implementation by default, right, has been all of us. We have chosen this naturally to be the lowest level of value. This is not something I'm making up. It's not something Myron made up. This is not anything. This is literally facts. The person who created Uber, right? Where do they fall on the spectrum? If we can have 10 more minutes of your time. Oh, wait, it was almost 9:35. All right, when 9:35 hit, I need to know. So let's see if you can finish this out before 9:35. Place this person on the spectrum. The person who created the Uber, whoever created that, where are they at on the spectrum? Where are they at on the spectrum? Where are they at on the spectrum? Okay, good. So they're at the top. So we understand that. We clearly understand the person who created Uber is actually not doing Uber. Just real quick, a quick consensus. Who makes more money? The person driving Uber or the person who makes Uber? The person who made Uber. All right, Crystal, we're going to get you out of here right now. Get you out of here right now. The idea, this is for Crystal. And because if anybody has to leave at 9:30, you can leave at 9:30. I don't want you to miss anything. But 9:35 is when I usually cut this off. Okay. So implementation, right, is the lowest level value is what we're doing right now, right? Where we're implementing an idea. The person who implements the idea is at the lowest level. You can have a skill set that's dope, that's great. Skills are necessary, but you need to understand other skills to move you up the ladder. So as you go through life, go through journey of your success journey, you want to be able to move up the ladder. You want to use all of 4 of these skills. These are also 4 ways to help people. So you can help somebody implement an idea. You can help somebody unify people, to manage people, to do an idea. You can communicate to somebody to manage somebody to do an idea, or you can just communicate the idea, and you can create the idea. Those are 4 ways to help people. Okay, those are 4 ways. So this is for Crystal, so she can leave if she has to leave. If anybody has to leave, this is the clear-cut thing. Anything else after that, I'm just giving you added value. Okay, so your job is to learn these skills. First of all, increase your imagination. Put your money goals in the chat. What type of money you want to make? Put your money goals in the chat. Put your money goal in the chat. Whatever your money goal, put a date by it, or by when. So you say a month, you say a day. Just don't put 1 million, because you probably already reached 1 million. I'm quite sure if you're like 30, 40, you already reached $1 million in your lifetime earnings already. Pretty sure. So put something next to it. Okay, 100K a year. Cool. If 100K a year is your goal, I want you to now double it. Everybody double it. I need you to think higher. This is part of you growing your imagination. Higher. Grow your imagination higher. Okay. Your communication. You might not like speaking to people. You might be afraid to speak. Stop being afraid to speak and speak, because that's where your money is at. That's where your money is at. Once you get good at speaking, you become so good at speaking, there's going to be times where you're not even going to have to speak and you get paid. But that's for a whole different breakdown. Okay. So right now, I want you all to see these different skills. These are also for stages of your entrepreneur career. If you're just starting out, if you just started out, put a 1 in the chat. If you're just starting out with your entrepreneur career, put a 1 in the chat. If you're just starting out, this is your roadmap for the next 4 years. This is not a 4-day journey. This is not a 4-month journey. You're not going to get rich overnight. It's going to take years before you get rich overnight. If you ever seen somebody become an overnight success, let you know they put some years in. So you see this person that's standing at the top and he created Uber. I'm quite sure there was other ideas. He just didn't wake up and create Uber and it was amazing in 3 months. That did not happen, okay? It happened over time. This is your 4-year roadmap. The first year is going to all be about implementation. All you're doing is everything that Joy is giving you, you're implementing it. That's your whole year. That's what your whole year is about. You're going to make $25,000 extra. Who would love to have an extra $25,000? The next year is all about unifying people to help you do the thing. So whether you're hiring help or you're teaching people about what you just learned, right? You did the results, you got the results for yourself. Either you're hiring people or you're teaching people. Okay. This is where you're going to make an extra $50,000 a year. Who would like to make an extra $50,000? Okay. The next year is all about communicating. You need to start making advertisements. You need to get testimonials from everybody who implemented what you've been teaching them. And then, obviously the list goes on. You're going to make 75. Your goal should be 75. This is how you make your goal more obtainable. You task chunk. Okay. We call it task chunking. You make it more obtainable. If you just say, I want to get $100,000 per month, okay, cool, but you only make $5,000 per month, your mind is not even going to think that you're capable of doing it, okay? Your mind is not even going to think that you're capable of doing it. So you have to make sure your mind can understand what you're going for so it can aid in that case and help you get there. So that's going to be your communication, where you're going to get paid just because you are making advertisements. Hey, look, I got this ebook. Hey, look, I have this course. Hey, look, I can help you with this. Hey, you can fix that. And then now you're getting paid just from your commercials. Okay. And then lastly, you're going to get that 100K month, 100K a year, because you're now using your imagination where you put it all together. You're going to pull it all together. Okay. All together. Right? Cool. And that's pretty much it. You're going to pull it all together using your imagination to communicate the idea. So you have to create an idea, you communicate the idea, you unify it for people to do it, to implement it and get the job done. This is how you start to become the person that spends 20% of your time working. So the 20% of your time is now you just thinking about the ideas. Okay. The 20% of the time is you thinking about the idea. And then now when you delegate all of this, they're doing the heavy lifting, and that takes up to 80%. Okay. If you look at the reverse, you see how if you have a job, If you see it, if you have a job, it's just the reverse. You're just down here doing more implementation. So the person who's doing Uber is just doing the implementation. That's 80% of the time. And the person who created Uber just only spending 20% of the time telling you to do it. They got the 80%. So you see how that flipped? Okay. Good. Good stuff. Good job. All right, cool. So this is how this is going to be your roadmap. In fact, did y'all take a screenshot of that? Take a screenshot of that because we get ready to close out. Take a screenshot. Okay, good. I made some haters today. I made some haters today. That's good. Good stuff. If you don't have haters, then you ain't doing nothing right. Okay, trust me. Trust me. All right, cool. Was that helpful for you in any way? Let me know in the chat. Was that helpful for you in any way? I want you to go into the Telegram and I want you to put your biggest takeaway in the Telegram. Okay. I told you, we're going to be honest here. We're going to be transparent, and being vulnerable is the way to put yourself in a position of power. Okay. So hopefully y'all did the homework this week. Hopefully you understand that your next level is loading. You are the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. You are amazing. Don't let anybody stop your day. Fact check everything, even the things that I said, okay? I want you to come off of mute. I want you to snap it up. I want you to clap it up. I want you to make so much noise because your next level is loading. Team, let's send them a request to unmute themselves. Today is a good day for a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Go out there and be successful.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful.
Ending
Good
level.
job.
Awesome. Hey,
All right.
have a blessed day, everyone.
Don't be mad
Praise
now.
God. Love you.
In the group chat, y'all got it.
Everybody have a blessed
Be
day.
glad.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great
That
day.
James supposed to got off the lot.
Thank you, Coach.
Wonderful.
Great.
Hello.
It's great. Marvelous.
You call him and tell him. I don't want to get into a routine.
Have a good day.
I ain't gonna get into it, but I
Please,
already you call
everyone
him.
be blessed today.
Amen.
Have a great day, y'all.
Great, wonderful. You guys have a great day. Bye. Bye.
Everybody have a blessed day.
Oh, yes. Bye.
See, everything is temporary. What I do with my time is what matters. I want to make sure I impact every single soul that I come in contact with. I can't do it by myself. If I'm gonna change the world, I'm gonna inspire the world, I'm gonna need other people. I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need your support.
And if I can have your attention, please, I want you to stand up. I want you to clap it up. I want you to snap it up. I want you to make so much noise because your next level is loading.
Peace, peace. See y'all soon. Tonight, class tonight. Let's go.